welcome CNG 132 to week 7. We jump in here looking at administrating a secure network. So we did learn about some devices that should be on a network, but now we start to, dig in deep and see, which kind of relates clear back to 124 again. What kind of protocols do you allow on your network to make it secure? Do you allow FTP? We know this one is unsecure. We know SSH is secure. Telnet can be secure, but it requires some more, a little bit more additional work. HTTP, do we allow this on our network, or do we allow this kind of talk on our network? HTTP over SSL, more commonly accepted and really used. There was an attack, a vulnerability in 3389. There we go, 33 right here. Terminal server, which is basically your remote desktop server. What kind of protocols do you let talk on your network to make it secure, or how far do you let MySQL, MSQL? How far do you let some of these protocols go, and where do you let these protocols go to? When you learned about having a bastion host, or basically like a bouncer, that's basically what a bastion host is. He directs everything to the proper server where it needs to go, and then you kind of delineate from there where the information goes. Like you'd never have a user talk to your database. They'd talk to that proxy server there, that bastion server, and that bastion server would then retrieve the information from the database server and then present it to the user. And the user would never be able to, and basically you'd go, the user would HTTPS in, they have like a little web page that they enter some sort of query. Then the bastion server would then MySQL 3306 or 4333 to that database server, and then pull the data out and then present it to the client. But the database server would never HTTP or HTTPS into that bastion host or the proxy server. So you'd eliminate that and really start to restrict traffic on those fronts. How can data be analyzed? Well, there's a few tools out there that help you analyze data, and what they are just visual representations of what is going on. Let me log into my firewall, my access point. So here's what I do on my side here at the house. Basically, there is, for the last day, let's do for the last 2 hours. So for the last 2 hours, let's see, from 7 to 9:30, 7:30 to 9:30, we see some stuff. We see some usage. Here we go. It looks like it spiked up to 24 megabits a second at one point, and then kind of teetered out. You can kind of see when everybody was getting ready to go to school, when everybody left, and then when I got back home. And you can kind of see how the process of the internet was used, I should say, or the network was used, really. We're looking at the network-wide scenario. We can start to see that iTunes was a chunk of it, Netflix, another chunk of it. YouTube, another chunk of it. UDP. So UDP, make sure that you understand these protocols from an earlier course, UDP and TCP, miscellaneous secure web, someone who's using Facebook, and other. So we can kind of see what was happening on the network. And this is a very visual and helpful graph to where you can kind of take chunks of that, your network, and then present it to somebody else. You can also do this in a command prompt or actually you can do it in terminal, but I don't have that set up yet to show you guys. Maybe I'll make another video later on this week. But we can kind of see, what kind of is going on. My Western Digital Cloud, you can see the OS, and I have it blocked. Um, Basically, it's just there to do backups and not really access the internet. So therefore, it never needs to really talk to the internet. It just needs internal traffic on it. Like when I just saved it, really. But yeah, and then really other security options would be allowing one port one port on a switch only to have one MAC address. Um, Allowing, and what that does is that if you have a port on a switch, it only plugs to that computer, and anything besides that computer or whatever else is after that, um, that port on the switch will only retain ever or only allow one um, one IP. Yeah, one IP, and that's ever, and that's like the total of it we'll ever do. Um, I think we had a good start for this week. If you guys have any questions, make sure to look back. Go ahead and if you want to search for that Common Network Protocol sheet, it's all over the web. It's a good little cheat sheet to have if you didn't already have it, but it kind of shows you the numbers of common ports and what should be going on over what is actually there. Oh, we didn't talk about DNS. DNS lookup. Um, Rather different from what you think. And this comes into Administrator Secure Network. Um, Part of the IP address, so we have frcc.com or frccdesireLearn.com. We think of that as a one place to go. If we entered it into a search, that DNS would just go to one place and pull that name. It actually goes to a few different places. It looks for first looks for the .com. We know that's commercial. Um, yeah, commercial. Then it would look for is there a dot? Yeah, so we have frcc.desiretelearn.com. What it actually does is break all that up and looks for it in chunks. It looks for FRCC, looks for Desire to Learn, and then looks for .com. And then we get our whole URL returned to us as a website. So it happens. A lot of things happen in the back really, really quick with DNS and getting that back, which is really, really cool. Yeah, I think I'll end it there. Have a good week. I will start grading here shortly.